our writer-in-residence. I always say that the right people are drawn to this place at the right time. So George's time was 15 years ago, and I'm just so glad that he has stayed with us. Without him, we wouldn't have a national poetry presence here at the Birthplace, and then he pairs our poets with local poets who are so important to us too. And George is just such an incredible supporter of the Birthplace in so many ways. I previously worked at Northport Historical too, and he's a Jack Kerouac expert. So George is everywhere all the time. So let's give him a big round of applause. I didn't see you, but I was like, he's somewhere. Okay, good. I also am so excited to announce that our Barnes & Noble next door has just opened up this week. It's amazing for us. I mean, I can't imagine a different neighbor that would be more paired beautifully with us. We plan on putting a gate between the parking lots, and they just really want to partner with us, so it's a beautiful time at the Birthplace to be sort of starting fresh with a lot of things. So, as we're coming in, you heard the beautiful music of Josie Bello here. Josie Bello's music is pure Americana, blending folk, country, and blues to tell stories with lyrics and melodies that have resonated with listeners across the US and in Europe. Her vocals and songwriting style have been compared to Mary Chapin, Carpenter, and Lucinda Williams. Her music can be heard on YouTube and Spotify, and you can learn more about her at josiebello.com. And Josie has been with us since the COVID era. She found us and she volunteered to do all of our music for our Zoom events, including Walking with Whitman when it was on Zoom. So thank you, Josie, for being that person for us. We really appreciate it. And thanks.
They think it's okay if you believe what they say. They walk around righteous. Every day fits a lie. And you believe it. Does it matter to you that it's a lie? Fiction hangs in the air, a prediction of what will be, a self-fulfilling prophecy. Does it matter to you that it's a lie? It's a thin white line running down the street where the truth and the lies always meet, and the asphalt cracks in the heat of the day, while the leader and his minions walk all over to say, manipulate the street, it'll go our way. Deception works when perception rules, and then it becomes the truth. How does it feel to be played for a fool? Does it matter to you that it's a lie? The end justifies the means when it's all about money, power and greed. Get the bear to behave, and the day is saved
creativity beyond poetry. We also have cool music. We have a lot of art classes now that we just started up in the past year or so. So there's just a lot of creative energy here at the Birthplace. I'm sure you agree when you feel it when you come in. So now I'd love to welcome George Wallace, the creator of Walking with Whitman.
Thank you all for coming. It was nice crowd today for the beginning of a season of 15th season, as Caitlin mentioned, of pairing national, international poets with regional poets, various combinations. We've done it all sorts of different ways, and it's grown and evolved over the years. Walking with Whitman as a program once a month, and continues to draw very healthy crowds, and I like the fact that we moved it so that the seating is arranged so you can see Walt's house behind us. It used to be facing the stage, and then everybody would be kind of looking over their shoulder to see if they could catch what Walt's childhood energy came from. So I want to thank, first of all, over the years, the administration of the Birthplace, most recently, and tremendously successfully, Kate Shea and her administration. So if you would, put your hands together for It did not always play out that there was a connection between what was happening here at the Birthplace and regional poetry. Because, as you can imagine, maintaining and interpreting a building like that, a couple hundred years old, and the legacy of Walt Whitman becoming, being part of the flagship for that, it occupies a lot of attention for the administrators. The fact that they have brought poetry into it as much as they have, it's not an automatic thing. And I'm forever grateful for their having done that. Caitlin says that, I brought international poetry to this Birthplace, but it's not true, really. If you look at that plaque afterwards, you'll see that going back to the 80s, 1985, 86, the Birthplace has once a year brought a poet in residence, somebody of national or international stature. Names you would recognize immediately: Sharon Olds, Getty Yevtushenko, Howard Ginsberg, so many of them, to be the poet in residence. And so that preceded me. I mean, he used to come and I would interview them for the Long Island Day, and that was my connection to it. But it's the bringing together, the triangulation of the local poets with the national and international poets that I think is truly the most significant thing that comes out of the Walking with Whitman program and the Poets Building Bridges program, some of you here have been part of over the years. Poets Building Bridges, which is a Zoom program. So each of those in their own way is an attempt to get past stereotypes. This is regional, this is national, this is international. This is this kind of country, this is that kind of country, this is that kind of poet, or that's that kind of culture. To get past that and see the humanity in all of the cultures of the world, the commonality, which poetry uniquely helps us to bring together people from different places with common impulse. I see some people here who last time I saw them, I was in Greece, or I was in Colombia, or I was in Northport, and the fact that that we are doing these things in all of those locations and stitching them together here for this season is something I'm very proud to have been able to humbly put together for the Birthplace. So we start off today with two very interesting unusual voices in poetry and the arts that I've run across in different capacities. So I'll introduce Hussein Habasch first. He'll be coming up here and presenting to you. I met him in Greece. And we hit it off right away. He's a Kurdish refugee living in Germany and writes in Kurdish, but also, I think, in German, and has a book of poems, a collection of poems in English, which appealed to me immensely. The contemporary world, as it's presented to us in contemporary media, is very selective, and we hear about the issue du jour in the world as it's presented to us, and around the world there's so many different situations where humanity is achieving or is threatened by something, and if it's not fed to us at the moment, this is the issue du jour. There tends to be a curtain across the many issues in places around the world that are really, heartrending and important for us to witness. Hussein is a witness to that, to the Kurdish situation. But also beyond that, he's not a person who is going to come up here and give you a polemic about that. He's a person who's got great humanity. You're going to hear about growing up in villages in Kurdistan and the human experience of being from a place like that and being an exile in Bonn as well. Now, I think most of it is going to be, although Hussein speaks English, he's going to be reading his poems in Kurdish, and Bob Savino, if he hasn't run off, board member here at the Birthplace, is going to assist with reading some of the poems in English. So how you set that up is up to you, but please, if you would, welcome on his visit here to New York this month, Hussein Habasch.
Thank you very much, George. Thank you for your coming. I am very happy I am here today in this place. It's really, I like, we know Walt Whitman is great poet, and he is famous for his award. Really, I am happy. But this is my second time I am here. I was 6 years ago with my friend Carlos Aguazaco, who is a great poet from Colombia. We were together in this festival here. As George said, I am from Kurdistan. I live in Germany. Kurdistan is occupied by 4 countries: Syria, Iraq, Iran, Turkey. And unfortunately, this is our situation. I would like to read some poems. I hope you like it. I read in Kurdish, George and Robert will read in English. نغمة منا قو شاوة والكدري بمبرم سري خوا داتين مسر كبرج بيركرني وسترانك غمجين وسط سترين نغمة منا وأز هجار ينجي هجار تج هجار ينجياني بمبرم زاروك من نها سيو هنارا دخون جبو من أبيا هري جرينجا نغمة منا وأز بمرم وجنوبا جمبرني إشياء ببم وبتلا خوا لبيدا غستا خابتشم زاروك من وشاهي وبختواري وقت دو أبين داران بهفرا لبيبن جبو من أبيا هري جرينجا سرقوم بولس لخوشخانه كدا لبرليني وقف رشتاكي سرخوش دخواست دخلاسي عمريني دا بتدا خوا البابك مر كمان سبتي لهولندا دمالا لسر پیارکه که وقت او زانه پیارکه با مر محمود البریکان بکیرا کجرکی هاتا کشتن وقت او برجا ولیدان که با اوچتین دریای نیشانی بریکا خوایا بالا چه پرایم بکه مر ایجار چه غما منه و از لمیخانه که یانجی لسماخانه که یانجی لمجرخانه که و یانجی لسر سینگا کنده که گیش کنده خانه که دا بمرم صالوکی من بطاطين قوراندي بمايونيز دخان جبو من أبيا هري جرينجا نغمة منا وأزبن آبي شاودي حركي هركري ساجيكري هيراندي يانجي خوكشتي بغازي وخوشكا من سيلفيا بلاس بمرم نغمة منا وأز دروجا رجبونا خادا وقت براي خا دلشان ميرواني هالبستان كردستان يجران وها وهاتبو بدار فاكرين بمرم نخما منا وأزوج جيوية جياني خاية هجا أتيلا يوسف برشي زندان كري يانجي دبن شار خاطرينك دين دا بمرم نخما منا وأزوج براي خانوركا بدستين هوفان بين كشتن يانجي وكهوالي خا حسن مطلق دباداي بغداي ورم دار فاكرين جبو من نغاتشتي هري جرين أوا وحردو زاروك من باشن وأزجي هالبست الشباني جدودي تيرا تنبسينم ووان هالبستان جنازيكيا بركارن جن وجبجنا كچن بداو ينكو بدلالي بيشيار جامع أحو خانه را در باست بن ورددرم حردو زاروك من ليزن كجا من پوری كجا خواه شهدگه و كره من موتوسيكا خوايا پر بجود داجو جبو من أبيا هر برينگه نغما منك از بكيرك ببخت يانجي وفاخارتنا قل مرجحر وك آب خاص براكس بمرم نغما منا وأمرن الأتينا برلين بيروت لندن شام ومدريد آن لواشنطن ببخت پایتخت همو وک هون عمرنجی وک گوچککی گل هر دره دیگره هر دو زاروک من اردگوکی وک گوککی دگندرینن و او وسا پردلان و شیرین خیالان جبو من أبيا هری گرینگه نخما منها وأزوج حموها البسطانة بتهني بمال سرقين كري بإيش سرخوش وبغازا دران هوانا بمرم يا قرينج أوا كونها أز لماريا كالس قطار بكم وبملبيا دنگي ويا خاش كياني خوكش ونرد كم حردو زاروك من وقف اشتيان خوكرنا جبو من أبيا هري قرينجا نغما منها وأز دين ببم وقوتنين بنرخ بكم ياجي وكهوالي خسيوران بخوي شرمان دا بقرم ونربينا خادنا دستين سرما وتبلهوية دا بهيرم حردو زاروك من دخوي دا تفجرن وبلكي جي خولان بجديد وبربريكان دبينن نخما منها جبو من أبيا هري قرينجا نخما منك أز بمرم يانجي صاب منم أبيا كان لبابن وكهبا ما قالوا مرن نرعوا بيانا وهروها من كياني خالد رستانش بالكرنيدا وندا كريا ويدا بي چخما منا راستي چخما منا
I don't care how or where I die. I rest my head on the rock of oblivion, like a chorus. I echo the saddest song as follows. I don't care if I die poor or poorer than the poorest people of the world. My 2 children are eating apples and chewing on pomegranate seeds. This is most important. I don't care if I die. Then I will wake up walking alone at my funeral. I don't care if I never wake up. My 2 children are whispering to each other with joy and happiness as they were 2 lovers. This is most important. Sargon Bolus has passed away in Berlin alone, as he was always alone, reeled in to the brink of death as if he was a drunken angel. He was sick as a forgotten prince. Kamal Saki died on a sofa in his house in Holland. Adyali had passed away on a sidewalk as if he was formed to be a crown of all the homeless. Muhammad Gaddafi was killed with a knife of a thief. He was a lighthouse guiding the pirates in his penniless pockets. Then why should I care if I die in a bar, a ballroom, a cabaret, or in the arms of a whore and a brothel? My 2 children are eating French fries with mayonnaise. This is most important. I don't care if I die by drowning, burning, strangulation, slaughter, or by committing suicide with carbon monoxide, like my sister, Sylvia Plath. I don't care if I'm put to death on my birthday, like my brother, Ishad Rouhani, the strange angel of Kurdistan. I don't care if I die hungry, in prison, or under the wheels of a reckless train, like my spiritual twin, Attila Joseph. I don't care if I am murdered in the hands of a mob, like Lorca, or hanged like the son of Habasch of Baghdad. More importantly, my 2 children are okay. And I write simple farewell love poems inspired by the flirtation of the waitresses and the beautiful young girls passing in front of the cafe. My 2 children are playing. My daughter is combing her Barbie's hair, and my son is riding his tiny motorcycle. This is most important. I don't care if I am stabbed with a treacherous knife or given a dose of venom like my uncle Socrates. I don't care if my death occurs in Athens, Berlin, Beirut, Damascus, London, Madrid, or beautiful Washington. Cities are similar. Death is a wandering dog, prowling along skylines. My children are rolling a ball-like planet, and they seem fascinated by it. This is most important. I don't care if I die homeless in exile, aching, sad, or drunk, or stabbed by friends' tusks like most poets. It is important that in this moment I'm listening to Maria Callas. Deep down, my inner self is soaked in a melodious voice. And my 2 children are sleeping innocently. It's amazing. This is most important. I don't care if I shudder with a drool or sail through the madness swirl like a companion Sherwin, roaming the night due to insomnia, putting my fate in the hands of coldness and delirium. My 2 children are smiling in their sleep, dreaming, perhaps about birds or butterflies. This is most important. I don't care if I live or die. It makes no difference. Death is the departure of the soul. I lost my soul a long time ago in the forests of oblivion. Why should I care now? I don't care.
about trees. أمينداريا دودارا دودارا رشا بو حز الكلام دار بريد الرش وشفتو كيدا براندن وبرن مالا خواه حردو دار آقردان كزبستاني دار بردا راستيا بهاتن عبدو أمبيس كرن هابرا شوكي
The love of two trees. Two trees were madly in love with one another. The vindictive woodchopper cut their trunks off. He took them home by chance. The two trees met in the fireplace. They embraced each other happily and burned together.
سيبان داركي بزار كان يفتازي لبن باران ديتن بزي بلز بزي هرب خان وقت سيباركي برگرن وزك حد زارو كان يفتازي بدرتن
An umbrella. The tree saw two nearly naked children in the rain shivering from the cold. It ran fast toward them, opened its leaves, stood above them like an umbrella.
دودار دارا بود دو أميندار بن سياوي رنشتبون ريوي هردم گشن كن دارا بومار فرم ويدا بجربوه ريوي هردم زر كنزون
Two trees. The tree under which two lovers sat had a bright, smiling face. The tree in whose trunk the snake lived had always a pale and sad face.
خونا داركي بخونا خادا بي أو دفرة بس بهرة حموش بيكان ويداري ويدبري سردارة ويكرن باس وقار دياري ويكرن وخارا فرانك
The trees dreamed. In a dream, a tree saw itself fly. All birds visited the tree in the morning. They gifted it with feathers and wings and made it fly with them.
خوازي قاوا دارك دي وش قامش بلورا شيبكن بود خوازيا از قامش بابا
I wish when a tree soared, they made flutes from reeds and said, I wish I were a reed.
كومر دارك بود اگر همو پیروسن بودناه آزادی دلسینن هاتبن شکاندن از شاه که خواه بشاودینم و بکم کومر دابو آزادی خواست سر دیوار جیان دلسینن بجی آزادی
The charcoal. A tree said, if they broke all the pencils which wrote in the name of freedom, it will burn one of my branches and make it a charcoal, a chalk, for the free to write on all the walls of the world. Long live freedom.
دلووانی چویکه که دلینا خواه لسر داره که بلند شکر داره دست خواه لبر خدی بگرد و خدی لبر کردگرم و تو با اوزان بر دلووا نشید
mercy. A bird built his nest atop a high tree, a tree called God. I beg you, God, do not send storms in my direction.
سبا توی پیر ببری سبا توی پیر ببری و بوبال تا وی هردم به دست بلا توی تنی سیگارا خوابکی و برخوادا وکا حموم روین پیر بکا تتبت توی تنی سیگارا خوابکی و برخوادا وکا حموم روین پیر بکا تتبت توی خارم بایی گوهن دا وی رام بگن توی آنکاری بخوازی لی تو کس گهداری تناکه اشترا آنکاری بشکش ناکه توی روشن بری او روشن ترخاش بگیران فاقینی لی بلی نبیه تا وی بکشاروش و روشن نو برانا و شادی با توی بوتنم که و سخیفان بلی نفشه بهش بکی و هردم دوباره بکی و بجی یاو هر چخواست نفشه ما باش چالاک و زیرک بود کسی مالباتی و حنکن خواب تا و بهالوستین تین قبل پرست بکن گاوا والپیشیا تا چه راهیز سر حشکی و باوری و پیشاروشی بکن توی تا ویل برکم ببا و بلکی جی تو بکنکی بدن و ایش بکی هستی انت ويتا نكبن وبوهولن وحمون خاشيجي وبيدستور كيف فضاش انت دابكن حمود داخواز انت حمود داخواز انت جبري داخوازا برني وين بين بمراندن ندوس ونجي هوال تاني ويتا نايم بشكري وهوال ريان تابا هردم توي جبو بار كرني آمده بي انت ويجي ويغازي تابكا والبند تبع حمو فرشته ويبشتا خوالتا يار بكن وبرابن تاني فرشتي برني وكا هبالك راستقي وخوشتاني زيد بكا لي دبكو جبري بتقال بكي في بيجي قال أزمرم من البر وبرستانا بيانيان بشري ودبكو أبجي
Tomorrow you will be an old man. For me, in a quarter of a century, more or less. Tomorrow you will be an old man, the cane always with you. You will walk alone. You will mutter to yourself like an old geezers do. You will become obstinate, hard of hearing, and slow. You will ask for help when you need it. But no one will respond. You will dream of the past and the good old days, while your grandson will think of the future and the days to come. You will curse the vapid generation, repeating itself like a broken record. How wonderful our generation was. You will be the butt of jokes in the family. They will laugh at you and your positions, which you think are right on. Your lips will let out like sarcastic smile. Wherever they mention words like stubbornness, vigor, and faith in the future. You might even laugh. Your bones will soften. Illness will roam freely in your body without permission. All your desires will be distinguished except the desire to die. There will be no friend or no companion. Loneliness will be your support and comrade. You will always be ready to depart. The threat threshold of the grave will entice you and keep you company. All the angels will betray you and leave. And Azrael will approach you as a last friend. Perhaps you will say, just as you are about to go, if I die, bury me here in the stranger's cemetery. Perhaps these words will be your final wish.
Gri, Sabahe Giria, Libro Giria, والإيفاري إيسا Giria. Sabahe Laura Kiwe Ata Kushtan, Libro Yakidan, الإيفاري يحل بتشوفو نازجي Ata Kushtan. الصباح رجعتن السروي Giria. النيلو السريين والسروي Giriana Giria. الإيفاري
Weeping. She wept in the morning. She wept at noon. She wept in the evening. In the morning she lost a son. At noon she lost another. In the evening she lost the last of the family. The next morning they cried for her. At noon they cried for those who were crying for her. In the evening there were no remaining cries. The whole town was swamped with blood.
كردك يستحش يوها حزدك از جبان تشاين آسي وجبان كمين بتشوغين سيس بيهيجن داويا هبونا خوا حزدك اجبان كبرين بسرحشية بكلا قربونا هابيني دا بتينا روكي رادقن حزدك اجبي آخا ورنجي وي مينا رنجي ناشي منها وجبي خاكا وجبي حمود شتان دلي منها أجبي توزن أو كلا جابي منها وجبي باين أو درماني جقرع منها حزب كم أجبان كزواني بجنكن وجبان فيجن بين خاش حزب كم أجبان سوبلانان وسترين وان وجبان زيتونان وجبي آنين وان حزب كم أجبي قاميش يزرا يدو هردم بسر كنارا كم بسترا وجبي قولا تاريخ وكذا بيبع حس أخيران حزدكم أجوان كليتين ميستين سبي مينا دلي من وجوان غانغلين براتيا قوينا من دكم حزدكم أجوان والد أخي وجوان كونين مينا آلايا لدركونين جندين جديد كلي لبعض بن حزدكم أجوان رزين جمر وتري ومايد دنما وجوان بلين زارين جنم ونين وخالان وخارنين دنما حزدكم از جوان كتين بخوا سربلن وزوان سيسكين وحردم لطاريه لطيبكن حزدكم اجوالات بخوا جبني تاسري وش سري تابني حزدكم وكردكي وش سحشي خوا حزدكم
As a Kurd would love his stubbornness. I love these rugged mountains and these slender rivers with wobbly knees pouring in their shallow house. I love those stones that defy sun rays in the midsummer heat and the frosty cold in the midwinter chills. I love this soil that resembles my body and this land that foremost means the heart. I love this dust, the cold for my eyes it is, and this air, a balm for my lungs it is. I love this skinny turbot and the fragrant hawthorn. I love cacti and its thorns, olives and its yearnings. I love this thin reed that serenades all the time on the riverbank, this dark swamp where frogs continuously croak. I love the daisy flower that resembles the whiteness of my heart, and these tulips that fraternize with my blood. I love these mud houses and these tents, fluttering on the outskirts of forgotten villages. I love this generous vine, the bequeather of grapes and wine. I love this yellow grain spike, the bequeather of food and bread. I love these swaggering kite birds and these cicadas continuously singing. I love my land from top to bottom and from bottom to top, just as a curve would love his stubbornness.
برف وسور برف سپید باره و سر همون جای جان سپید گره تنه سر جای کردستان سپید باره و سور
The red snow. The snow comes down white, covering all the mountains with whiteness. The snow comes down white on Kyrgyzstan's mountains too, but it soon turns red.
گلک جدل جیانه دین بینا ما او نیان چی بکن دین بینا ما ام بنفسنا دین بینا ما ام حبور گلکی دیاری دل جیانه بکن دین بینا ما سر ناکن یاره دین بینا وان بشار بکن دین بینا وان بکشتنه بکن دین بینا وان بحرور بلايكي برد دريج ياري دين بينا وان بسكر ياري أمي بشكل أسبيكي باش بصنا أو بسكر تو بيكي باش بزاني ياري دي بسانجي أمي بلايان شي بكن دنسيا وحرور بلاكي ياري دريج ياري
A rose for the heart of life. Our madness to draw, our madness to write, our madness to leave every day. A rose for the heart of life. Our madness won't win, my love. Their madness to fight, their madness to kill, their madness to aim every day. A bullet to the heart of life. Their madness will win, my love. We will be defeated, my love, I know that. They will conquer, my love, you know that. But regardless, we will draw, write, and leave every day a rose for the heart of life.
Love for love. از این چاوا جنه که را ببیجم بالمناطق وی هست جا گل و بهدا بنفشان گلکن این چاوا از این جنه را ببیجم از حسبان جیان گلان و بهدا بنفشان حزب کن وش بیتری وان حمیان جی شبه حسن از این چاوا جنه را ببیجم بو دزیه که بچوش کراسه وی سور و سبک یکون لها کریه دکاره به جیانه بکه زبیه فرح و مزن جکام دنیا و پشترینه کنر لسر روی وی دکاره بکه و کلیل که امتیراز لسر من دست این بازار بپش کدن از این چاوا جرا ببیجم و چلنگی آوی دکاره سری مروفا جحمو پارزمینان و آلی خوابا بزبرینه و پیاس آوی دکاره بوره و کولانان و کولان آلیین خوابگو هارن و پی شوک آوی هرن از این چاوا جرا ببیجن ولواندی آوی انرژیه که پر مزند ده باسکین پرپری توشکان خوشبون آوی جامن کوران سرانسری آخا خدا بدکه از این چاوا جرا ببیجن و الماس زمرد کرسو کهریبار جواز و یاقود و گرانبهای خواه هست لاکن تنی گاوا او خالصی ویدا ببینن و اسیمان ستر هی و پوستر خانیزی ویدکن دابو او روناهیا او روناهی جوناهیا وی وربگرن از این چاوا جرا ببیجن و هاتنا وی جیانه شوینا وی اشکنجه و نبونا وی برنه از این چاوا جرا ببیجن و چم راینه گاوا او دی قرقاندنا خارا آستان و خواست و رجده هاوی ناوکا یان جناب رانه میداره از این چاوا جرا ببیجن و بلان خواستن سری وی را ببن کم و رشرشبان خواستن ببن رشکاندن به خاشیه ببن گوه وی داره و افشین کانجی خواستن ببن مینا بسکن کوره وی از این چاوا جرا ببیجن و هلما وی البستکه و نجهمو البست الأليمية پوشکین خاشتره و در لیبیا ویجی جرومانا جمیله یا اخباتو چیتره و لواندنا بسته وی جهمو شانه اولیبیتس اسکیلوس اسکوبلیس خاشتره از این چاوا جرا ببیجن و بجنا وی برجا بودال که یانجی سپین دریج و کرناره و تنه کسی رازن فرشتهان بزانن دکارن تی و بیبن وی وطن و بخینن و دل وی جه اولهیه جبو ادولار بردوامی ادنیا خواه بکن و نتی جهان بی پیروز بکن و بیان وی شیرینی تنکی نازکی و بدوی دیاری خوازه بکن از این چاوا جرا ببیجن و از جوی حزن کن بی و جرا ببیجن و از جی حزن کن و اوج دل رامان بیان جیانا من تجاری ناچه اولای کن آدم چاوا
How can I explain? How can I explain to a woman in whose country's horses, mountains, lakes, and the scent of lilies abound, that I love horses, mountains, lakes, and the scent of lilies, and I love her more than horses, mountains, lakes, and the scent of lilies? How can I explain to her that a little thread of light red coat that she wears can make the place an endless field of anemones? And what a gentle smile on her face is enough to make cherry blossoms bloom on the shoulders and arms of cities. How can I explain to her that her elegance is enough to turn the heads of men from entire continents towards her, and that her gait is enough to make roads and alleys change directions and follow her footsteps? How can I explain to her that her agility gives tremendous energy to the wings of butterflies and birds, and that her charm opens the eyes of the blind in the length and breadth of God's earth? How can I explain that her diamonds, emeralds, turquoise, ambers, onyx, and sapphire do not feel that they are precious stones except when they touch her neck, and that the sky brings its stars, moons, and galaxies closer to her so that it derives light from her brilliance? How can I explain to her that her coming is life, her departure is torture, and her absence is death? How can I explain to her that the Rhine stopped flowing when it saw her and wanted its goal to be in her navel or between her thighs? How can I explain to her that the roses wanted to be a hat for her head and the mist of perfume to be under her ears and the fountains are like her hair. How can I explain to her that the ring on her finger is more important than the ring of Solomon, and that the bracelets on her wrists are more beautiful than the bracelets that Cleopatra used to wear, and that the necklace that she wears is more precious than all the necklaces in Ephrata, Cyrenius, Zenobia, and all the queens past and present? How can I explain to her that her breathing is a poem more beautiful than all the love poems written by Pushkin, and that her delirium is better than Emilia novel of Chinggis Animov, and that the movement of her hands is better than all the plays of Euripides, Aeschylus, Sophocles? And how can I explain to her that a statue is a beacon or an obelisk inscribed with the words that only those who know the secrets of angels can decipher, and that her heart is a safety valve for the continuation of lovers in love and raising the world's affairs with it more and more, and that her spirit endows nature with sweetness, grace, and beauty? How can I explain to her that I love her without telling her that I love her, and that she will still remain in my heart, mind, soul, and life, and will never leave? How?
Is enough or one more?
One more, please.
One more. كبرين السربينية جيزيلا أزيد الدمك نزيد دا بين هافانا واتو تشتكي جبل خازي أري أز كبركي بجو وبتشم قانين ولاتي تاها تيششتن خازن بلا كبركي مينا توريسكن جاوين تبا ورنجي مينا توريسكن جاوين تا ورنجي دلي تبا كبركي وأز خالبت أيوان دريايا هواني به خاصر بلند ببینم وشوي أيواني رب بيجم أف كبره هالبستبانة ومطمئنة سيتا وويا أف كبره هالبستبانة وواطيا هونا ويا أف كبره هالبستبانة أي بيرن بلند وماسين بالشعر أف كبره هالبستبانة أي كفاسبي أي كشتين ومينا بيقال خالصة آغا زلال لبادكن إزيلا أي هوال هجا نها بي بوتو بزان بي تقلق برين دلين دابا كرن برين كومن خاص هناكي وان راوستينم وش بيج بكم برين نقو لدلي من دخن وهما جفشارين خاين قران ويدلي هوري دكن أزيد شاوج ولاتي خا كبرك اشترى بين هوالي ولاتي من دحركي ليكتي وحرج ركتي دا تيقر كرن ويران كرن أزيد شاوج ولاتي خا كبرك اشترى بين هوالي وأبسي سالن وسربيني مينا كبرك إكرار سرسين قانن راوسيايا وهناسين من بيجو بالا تكسي بكشينا دتشكينا أزيد شاوا بكار مشترى بينم لي كأسنكي حزب بكم وشاركي ببينم أري أزي اشترى كبركي بتشوف بينم كبركي بوبتشم وقانين سلفنية عطنا ششتن وشيكران كبركي رنجين وأزي بيجي تشمي راني مينا مجاركي داخنم وبالسردا كبركي دنجي وبليدانا دلي من شيكريا بينم أري أز اشترى كبركي بينم دي أوجي مينا من نوراتي دور بسربينية حسبك ديك هوا كد هم بيزا تدا رينا دي أرام با وإيش السربينية ديك ياري خا وددلي خادا سببك إزيلا من جبيكر واشترى بليجم وهوانا من بيان شي كردستاني ومن كبركي مينا وناهية جاوي من رنگي دلي منا كبركي وأز مينا هوانكي دل سوز مطارزم كبركي وأز باوريا خا بكم أوجي تي باوريا خا من بكا كبركي وش حمو كبرا من رخترا كبركي دي السودانية دا هردم هوالي من با جيزي دا من تشتكي دنجمير كر مشتغل بيجم من كبرك هوانا بخارا وانيا كبركي بو بتشمن دلي دا وبدرياي وين قام هاتيا ششتن وشيكرن كبركي هركو من دستي خابي بكم بيارين هوانا كبر بينا بيرامن كبركي وقلك كنيل سرية ويهنا وخالك بتشوف السر چنگا ويهايا كبركي تبكو أو جوهرك با خوسي مارتي أو اندا كربا داكو هالبستاني كردستاني ويبينا وبخارا بينا سربينية خالة ألمانيا كبركي والكيلكا كبرين وبيانش مراش كردستاني أغانية دي بجهببا ودي هردم هردو جي من تناهي وسربينية منيا بيدا قارم ورحب
It sounds better when you do it. Stones in exile. I will soon come home to Havana, Giselle. Do you want something from here? Yes, I want a little stone, polished by the rivers and springs of your country. A stone that resembles the sparkle of your eyes and the color of your heart. It's a stone that I show off in front of the seaside balcony in Havana, and I tell it this is the poet's stone and the astonishment of his imagination. This is the poet's stone and the meaning of its existence. This is the poet's stone and the crashing waves and happy fish. This is the poet's stone, oh, the white foam of ships that sway like the brides over clear waters. Oh, Giselle, oh, my dear friend, you have opened many wounds in my heart without intending it, wounds that were dormant, and I tried to put them in oblivion. Deep wounds, pressing on my heart and almost turning it into atoms from the intense pressure. How can I bring you a stone from my country when my country is annihilated every hour, every day, every month, and every year, and no one cares about that? How can I bring it to you from my country when this accursed exile for 30 years is perched like a heavy stone on my chest and suppresses my breath? How can I bring it to you, my friend? And the impossible is impossible. But let me think a little and find a solution. Yes, I will bring you a little stone polished by the rivers and springs of exile, a colored stone. I will take out from the Rhine like a pearl. I will add another stone to it, polishing it with my heartbeat. Yes, I will bring you a stone. It will feel the exile as I feel. But when it sits on your lap, it will be reassured and will ease the torment of exile in its soul and in its heart. Oh, Giselle, I forgot to tell you that my friend Vanya went to Kurdistan on vacation. I asked her to bring me a stone from my country, as you asked me. A stone similar to the one I brought you from here. But not a stone polished by the rivers and the springs of exile. Rather, it is polished by the rivers and spring of Kurdistan. A stone like the light of my eyes and the color of my heart. A stone I will keep as a loyal friend. I trust it, and it trusts me. A stone more precious than all precious stones. A stone that will accompany me in exile forever. Oh, Giselle, I forgot to tell you as well that I brought the stone from Havana. A stone polished by the rivers of your heart and its warm seas. A stone, if I touch it, I will remember the sidewalks of Havana, stone by stone. A stone with many freckles on its face and a mole on its chin. A stone that may have been a jewel that Jose Marte lost in order for his Kurdish poet to find it and bring it to his German exile. A stone that will take its place next to the stone that my friend Whitman brought from Kurdistan. And both of them will comfort my long isolation and my external exile.
Transformed into music, either by the poets writing lyrics or poems by poems that we've recognized over the years, over the centuries, being repurposed as lyrics by popular musicians. And it started in English, and the number of poems really became something that was almost unwieldy. Hundreds, really, of poems that had been turned to music through making lyrics of them, sometimes verbatim, sometimes messing with them. Some you would recognize, of course, a poem by Blake or a poem by Wordsworth or a romantic poet here or there, Shakespeare, going all the way back to poems from Chaucer. But then some surprising ones that you might not really expect. Sheryl Crow, their most famous song. She was in studio in Los Angeles, and they had about 8 or 9 tracks, and they had one more to go, and they didn't have any material, so the guitarist went down to a bookstore and he picked up a chapbook of poems by some guy from Cincinnati or something like that. Wrote it back, and she said, "This is going to work perfect. We'll use one of these." And it became, that very famous song by Sheryl Crow, which I won't attempt to sing for you. But from there, I started exploring, what was happening in other languages, especially in French, but in Spanish, Russian, other languages as well. And the enormous richness of what has been done with poetry to make it live through musical interpretation, musical alignment with music is something that is a real study. I think you could probably get a PhD in it. One of the people that I ran across was Adah Hetko, who I found her work on YouTube, singing songs that some had come from poems in Yiddish, some were lyrics, from popular folk tunes and that sort of thing. Just utterly, unbelievably charming songs, which she interpreted and explained to people, and we'll get some explication from her. But she's originally from upstate somewhere, near Albany, and lives in Boston now, and she has a band. They have at least one album out of material that that is this music. And it's got the poetry of origins, which I thought was something that we should celebrate here at the Walt with Birthplace. So I hope you'll put your hands together and welcome Adah Hetko, who's going to entertain you with Birthplace.
Thank you, and it's wonderful to share this evening with Hussein and with Josie, and thank you to Frank for helping me with the sound right now. So before we get...
I didn't turn it on yet, just play. Can you plug your guitar? Yeah. Just play that in 21.
I think this is okay. You can hear me? Okay?
Yes.
Yeah? So before we dive in, what is Yiddish? Yeah, it's a Jewish language. You said an old Jewish language?
Yeah, because they are not really practiced.
Well, there are a lot of people who speak Yiddish now, but there are many less people than there used to be before World War II. One more time?
It's a made-up language that the Jews spoke to hide them from German, from Polish and German people.
All languages are made-up languages. Yeah,
but I think that it was intentionally created to so that people didn't understand it.
Interesting. I'm not sure I agree, but we can talk about it later.
Okay. It's
What?
not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I think it was a good thing. I think it was creative. But
Yeah. What languages are part of Yiddish? Yeah. What kind of Hebrew? Old Hebrew. Biblical Hebrew, yeah. Biblical Hebrew and Middle High German, so also Old German. And there are also some bits of Romance languages and Slavic languages. Does anybody here speak German? Hussein speaks German, yes? You speak German? Okay, so you're probably, and Dan knows some Yiddish, so right here, you're gonna probably understand the most. I'm gonna start with a song called Die Sonne wird heruntergehen unter den Berg, which is, you got it. Which is a poem by Moshe Leib Halpern that was set to music by Ben Yeoman in the 30s, and I learned this song without knowing that it was a poem first, because it's sort of come into circulation as a folk song. And a couple of years ago, I did a project translating a bunch of Yiddish songs into English, into singable translations. So I'll sing it for you now with a combination of the original and my translations. Die Sonne wird heruntergehen unter den Berg. Behind the tall mountain, the sun will go down. Wird kommen die Liebe, a Stille zu gehen, and love will come softly to gently enfold the sorrow that's patiently perched on a stone and weeps for itself all alone. Zum etwas sitzt auf a goldenem Stein und weint bei sich einer allein. Die Sonne wird heruntergehen unter den Berg. Behind the tall mountain, the sun will go down. score made of starlight and strings, the song that our longing hearts sing. Und mitnehmen wird sie uns alle ahin, wo die Bänkschaft wird ziehen. Die Sonne wird untergehen unter dem Berg. Behind the tall mountain the sun will go down. Wird kommen die Nacht und wird singen Liu. And singing hush hush, night will spread her dark cloak, and darkness will fall and the eyes gently close, to sleep in eternal repose. Arriba die Augen, was fallen scheuen zu schlafen in Ewigkeit. I went to Germany a few years ago, and I realized that I could, I can't really speak German, but in small interactions, if I went into a store, I could buy something in Yiddish. The numbers are the same, little greeting things are close enough. They'll just think I'm weird and from the mountains. So that was really fun for me to pretend to speak German. This is one of my favorite folk songs ever. It's called In Dreußen ist finster, and it's a love song saying it's dark outside, it's so dark outside, late at night, and it's so quiet, you don't even hear a pitter-pat on the street or the rustle of birds. Where have you been? I long to go walking with you and talk with you. Where have you been? You're here! Come outside with me, my dear, sweet, lovely one. It's starting to rain and I'm waiting here and I don't know what I'm doing. You're so beautiful. Your face is so beautiful. Come, go walking with me and talk with me. In Dreußen ist finster, in Dreußen ist finster, es ist spät bei Nacht. Man hört kein Schum, kein Schock, kein Vögel fliehen auf der Gasse. Man hört kein Schum, kein Schock, kein Vögel fliehen auf der Gasse. Wo bist du geflohen? Will mit dir zwei Wörter reden? Wo bist du geflohen? Will mit dir zusammen sein? So komm reis zu mir, mein Teil dieses Leben. Ich steh und warten muss, allein ich weiß nicht was. Ich steh und warten muss, allein ich weiß nicht was. So komm schon raus, will mit dir zwei Wörter reden. Komm schon raus, will mit dir zusammen gehen. Dein schön Pony mit deiner schwarzen Kutschgeleck. poem by Rachel Korn, one of my favorite Yiddish poets. She spent most of her life in Montreal, and this poem was recently set to music by my friend Rebecca Mack, who's a wonderful klezmer violinist. And we play together in an ensemble, and she brought this song she wrote to me, and she said, I think you should sing this. And I said, that's a great idea. So we performed it together for the first time very recently, so this is fresh. I'm not good at the guitar this one. I'm good for this one. I should read the translation first. Longing. My dreams are so full of longing that every morning my body smells of you. And on my bitten lip there slowly dries the only sign of suffering, a speck of blood. And the hours like goblets pour hope, one into the other like expensive wine, that you are not far away, that now at any moment you may come, come, come. Sie seinen meine Träume, also voll mit Bänkschaft, als schmeckt in der Früh meine Leib mit dir. Und trinkt zu Pamela auf mein verklemmte Lieb, der einzige Sinn und der Stitten Treue. Sie sagt Tropfen Blut, uns gießen Schein über die Schoen, wie Käuse sehner in der Zweite, die Hoffnung wie Zeilen Wein. Als du bist nicht weit, als du bist nicht weit, also sei Erde, oi kannst du kommen, oi kommen, als du bist nicht weit, also sei Erde, oi kannst du kommen, oi kommen. Sie seien meine Träume, also voll mit Bänkschaft, als schmeckt in der Früh meine Leib mit dir. What do you think about a happy love song after that one? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. This is a song that I wrote for my friend Aaron, who he not only met his now wife during COVID lockdown online, but they also got married online on Zoom. And so I was FaceTiming with him, as you did then, and I was like, tell me about her. What's she like? Tell me about her. And he said, well, we really understand each other because we're both very passionate people. And you know me, I'm very passionate about Yiddish and about theater, and Shuli, she's very passionate about tortoises. for them. Wenn zwei feierdige Menschen mit kleines Blitzbeet Gefahr steht, sind noch neben dem anderen, wachen auf, atmen vertoten, leften um Händen, Herzen auf. Strahl, Abschein, Finkel, Glimmer, Schein und Blenden, Blitz. Wie a Glas auf der Sonne, wie Milliarden a Million, wie heiß und hell und heilig, wie a Feuer hitz, und wie heiß und hell und heilig Feuer ist. When two passionate people with dreams the other understands come together and make sparks, conjure rosy dawn from dark, interlace their hands and hearts. What a sparkle, what a glimmer, what a shine, what a shimmer, what a sunbeam, what a blinding ray of light. Like a field of fireflies, starlight strung across dark skies, burning hot and bright and holy as firelight, burning hot and bright and holy through the night. Wie a Glas auf der Sonne, wie Brillanten a Million, wie heiß und hell und heilig, wie a Feuer hitz, und wie heiß und hell und heilig Feuer ist. I'm going to grab a little bit of water.
And I'm also going to talk about Yiddish for a second. So I've been thinking about that question of if Yiddish is for,
Bringing it to you.
oh,
you have your own
bottle here, thank you. So the question of if Yiddish was for other people to not understand.
And I have, I think that's a really, really interesting question, and I don't know how it started. It was an oral language for hundreds of years before it was a written language, so it's hard to trace exactly how and why it started. But I do know that there's a couple of dialects of Yiddish that are, or not even dialects, like argets, that were specifically so people wouldn't understand. There's a version of Yiddish for thieves, and there's a version of Yiddish for musicians. Now, thieves, musicians, maybe they have something in common, maybe they don't, but you can find some documentation of this. There's some glossaries. It's like, so this is how you talk about money in front of the family who's having the wedding or whatever for the musicians. Maybe I'll do my song that mentions bandits next. What do you think? This is a folk song that I really like. That I've got it in here. Oh, I know how it goes. I can just do it for you. Ah, here it is. On the ocean, the waves are churning. built a little house in the woods. Oh, a little house in the woods with windows on every side, but of all the views in the world, you are the most beautiful. Do you love me from deep in your heart, or do you only love my pretty face? You have killed me, just like the bandits. And just like a bandit kills a man, he kills him with a knife. You have stabbed me, but you never finish the job. You're even worse than the bandits. Here's another song that I wrote that's about a squirrel. There's a squirrel, a brown squirrel eating nuts, standing on the fence with two hairy feet. Are you looking at me through the window, my little neighbor? Does my head look like a tasty nut to you? Little brown squirrel, you live in a hole. I build my house. I build my home in a house with a little roof. Do you keep the Sabbath in your little house, or are you, like me, just a worldly animal? Adah Hetko, that's me, sits by the window, and her forehead is wrinkled. So this is from the perspective of the squirrel, if you were wondering. She doesn't know any squirrelish, so we're speaking through glances. And I'm going to invite her over for Shabbos dinner tonight. Steht auf der Plein I was thinking poetic meter. But yeah, thank you. Good job. Are you ready for some old political satire? Yes. Yes? Okay, great. This is a folk song that we don't know who wrote it, but it was popular in the Soviet Union, and Paul Robeson did a beautiful, beautiful recording of this song, and I'm going to have you all help me. So you need to know two words. The first one is new. New. What does new mean? Anybody?
So what's new? Yeah, it's like, yeah, what?
Yeah. It's like, so?
So that, this is Long Island.
Yeah. Yeah. New. Very good, very good. So I will tell you when to go. I'm gonna do some things with my hands so you'll know it's time for new. And then the other word that you need is, actually there are three words. Okay, new, bulbous. Everybody say bulbous. What does bulbous mean? Bulbous is bulbous. Potatoes. So in the middle, we're going to sing a song together that's called Bulbous, and I'll tell you when. And then the third word is sha. Sha. Yeah, so that's, but we're going to do it loud. So this song is asking, it's in the form of a religious discussion. So, gathered wise men, I have a question to ask you. This is when you go, no. How does the Tsar drink his tea? Any guesses? We're not at bulbous yet. Not quite yet. How does the Tsar drink his tea? Not at yet. Good guesses?
A glass of tea.
Haste? A glass of tea?
Glass of tea.
Yeah, so he's gonna drink tea and it's gonna be hot. But any Any thoughts about the mechanics of it?
With sugar?
This is the czar. Yes, with sugar. So you take a block of sugar and you make a hole in the middle, and then what do?
Shoot does the
Oh, you're getting to the bulbous part. Not there yet. So then you pour hot water into that hole in the block of sugar, and then you stir, and that's how the czar drinks his tea. How does the czar drink, and how does the czar eat his potatoes? How does he eat his bulbous? Yeah.
Is the one with the launching it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Launching it through what?
Gosh,
A wall
yeah, the wall.
made out of
Butter?
butter. Yes. So you make a wall of butter, and you have a whole regiment of soldiers on one side, and they shoot the potatoes through the wall right into the czar's mouth. How does the czar sleep at night?
How does he sleep?
How does he sleep at night?
One eye open.
With his feet on the pillow. That's very cute. That's very nice. Pillows. So you take a room and you fill it totally full with feathers, and then you smush the czar inside, and then you get that whole regiment of soldiers again, and they stand outside the room all night yelling,
Shah, shah, shah. So let's practice that. Shah, shah, shah.
You're ready. Rabbi Sai, Chacham imon abrek. Ich will euch frag. Entfert alle auf mein Schale, wie trinkt der Kaiser Tee. Man nimmt Hitler Zucker und man macht in dem Lächeln und man gießt rein ins Wasser und man mischt. Trinkt der Kaiser Tee. Rabbi Sai, Chacham imon abrek. Ich will euch fragen. Frag. Entfert alle auf mein Schale, wie ist der Kaiser. Man nimmt ein Fässel Butter und man stellt weg den Kaiser auf der anderen Seite, und man rote Soldaten mit Armaden schießen die Bulbis durch der Butter dem Kaiser gleich in Mäulein. Oi, ob das Zoi ist der Kaiser Bulbis. Sunzig Bulbis, munzig Bulbis, Dienstig und Mittwoch Bulbis, Donnerstag und Freitag Bulbis, Schabes in der Novena Bulbis, Klugele, Sonntag weiter Bulbis. So this is how we all eat potatoes. Sunday potatoes, Monday potatoes, Tuesday and Wednesday potatoes, Thursday and Friday potatoes, Saturday for a little something special we have potato kugel, Sunday more potatoes. Sonntag, Montag, Dienstag und Mittwoch, Donnerstag und Freitag, Bulbis, Schabes in der Novena Bulbis, Klugele, Sonntag weiter Bulbis. Rabbi Sai, Chacham imon abrek. Ich will euch fragen. Jeffrey, entfällt alle auf mein Schaue, wie soll schläft der Kaiser bei Nacht. Mich schießt an vollen Cheder mit Federn und nach Malete hinter einem Kaiser und 3 Soldaten stehen die ganze Nacht und schreien. Shah, shah, shah. Louder so everybody can hear. Everybody can hear. Shah, shah, shah. Schlaft der Kaiser bei Nacht. How are we doing for time?
How are we doing for time?
Want to do like longer or like 5 seconds or something like that?
So let's do a song that I wrote music for. It's a poem by Zosman Segalovich. And it was written in the Warsaw Ghetto. Actually, right before the ghetto was established in Warsaw. And it was, this poem was hidden in a milk bottle for the remainder of the war and unearthed after the war. There's a team of people who made just a really interesting contribution to history by pretending to hang out and have parties, but actually be collecting documents of what was happening in the ghetto. They call themselves the Oinig Shabbos Society, which means the joy of Shabbos, which is a phrase describing usually like a hangout where you have snacks and sing songs. Actually they were collecting all these materials, and it was a huge range of things. It was scientific reports, like diary sort of entries, and visual art and poetry like this. So this poem is called Via Ness, and I first read it and wrote music for it during COVID lockdown, but unfortunately it's relevant every year. So and you'll hear my translation of it. I'll sing that as well. Und doch ist es schön wie ein Nest, und das Rose wird Zweige auf wie in unserer Zeit, von Wesen der Wort und Schreck, auf viele in unserer Zeit, auf Robert and Jennifer. Yes, Jennifer, for making this happen. I really appreciate it.
So how cool is my job that I get to be here for performances like this and meet these amazing voices that come here to the Birthplace. It's always a very powerful night. I love that we had a special musical guest that incorporates poetry so beautifully too. And Hussein, your poetry, to travel here and be in this room is so powerful too. Events and marketing coordinator. She does a beautiful job. She takes care of everything behind the scenes that works so beautifully. So let's give her a big round of applause. So thank you all for being here. It means so much to have your support here at the Birthplace. As a nonprofit, we really rely on people coming and having a presence here. Without all of you, we wouldn't do these performances. We need lots of people to love and nourish poetry as much as we do. So thank you for being that. And my new recommendation is going to Barnes & Noble, getting a really good book, and then coming here and reading. I think that would be a really fun day. I gotta do it myself. So thank you so much, everyone. And I wanna bring up Josie Bello to sing us out. And then we'll have a big picture moment for all of our performers right over by that wall once Josie's done. Thank you again.
Tells you the condition I'm in. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. We only look at the outside. When I love forever. Don't tell you nothing about the gender I'm in. When I love forever. Only tells you the condition I'm in. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. We only look at the outside. When I'm in pain, pain's my family. Don't tell you nothing about my family tree. When I'm in pain, ooh, pain's my family. Only tells you the condition I'm in. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. We only look at the outside. Nothing of value's on the outside. It's all on the inside.